Well, okay, we're live, and Patrick popped out again. Well, anyway, hey everybody, what's going on? Brother John here. Welcome to another edition of the Night Owl. First and foremost, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody out there. May
Testing
you,
one, two.
we hear you, Patrick. May you live, love, and laugh more this coming New Year. And so I got a few of my friends here on the panel. Um, And we're going to talk about, I guess, for New Year's resolutions, any predictions, any new discoveries, anything you see coming up the pipeline. I don't know, good, bad, or ugly. Um, so I want to talk about that. First and foremost, I was so sad to hear today, late kind of, I guess, that we lost another legend. Natalie Cole died. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. She was only 65 years old.
Yeah,
So
my
that
daughter said, "Who?"
yeah, sad news, sad news.
Yeah.
How who? Unforgettable.
I know. She didn't know.
That's who you are.
Hmm.
Yeah. So thanks. We got Frank. We got Pat. We got Sugar in the house. Happy New Year's, guys.
Yeah. Happy
Happy
New
New
Year to you too.
Year's. I'm very honored to be here at this moment and the start of the new year. This was my first hangout for the new year, so I think, I feel very honored.
Good start. Good start. I started
It's
early
a,
this morning.
yes.
Ooh. How'd you
And
guys how'd you
go
guys
ahead.
spend the striking of the bell?
Oh, well, I was at a masjid,
At a what?
at a mosque.
Oh, a
Yeah,
mosque.
yeah,
Midnight service at the mosque, huh?
yeah. They were, and guess what? They had all the kids lined up, and they were watching Star Wars, the first one.
Oh, well, that's
Really?
nice.
Yeah. At the mosque, the guy put there, get all the kids, and it was the 1977. They call it the New Hope, I guess, but the first Star Wars. They had all the kids lined up to watching Star Wars.
So they don't call that midnight mass now, do they?
No, no, they was just doing something for, I guess, New Year's. They had, the community come in. They had
I like
lots
that.
of food. Lots of food.
Mm.
Um, and just chatting, just shooting the breeze. Did a lot of talking, so
Did they do
so
a
I like
countdown?
was really talking. No, actually, nobody did a
That's
countdown.
actually
Everybody was,
because I graduated high school when Star Wars first came out,
yeah.
1977.
So they didn't do
Nobody
a
was doing the
countdown.
countdown. Everybody was just chatting. Everybody was chatting, and then all of a sudden, everybody's looking. Wait a minute, it's 12 o'clock. Happy New Year's. You know?
That same thing happened to me last night. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
bombs started going off in the backyard. I went, "Oh, geez, it's midnight."
Yeah, everybody was busy like conversating and just like, talking about stuff. And,
Mm.
I'm,
Wait,
talking
is that
about
a
my
word?
ideas. Go
Hang,
ahead.
hang, hang on, hang on. Is that a word? Conversating?
Conversating. It is
Mm.
actually.
I believe
It's
so.
somebody use they all use it nowadays. These crazy kids. The new language.
How was your midnight, Pat? What you do, Stretch?
I actually had a special thing going on with my Facebook group. I created a online what do you call it, Google Hangout. We had a name change of my Facebook group, and I created a Google Hangout. I was actually hoping for a lot more people, but only a couple showed up. But sooner or later, some people showed up that were actually one or two people showed up that were actually a part of the group. So
Cool.
we changed the name of my Facebook group, and we went into this big thing about it. And to make a long story short, the Atheists for the Advancement of Science, Reason, and Morality is now known as the Humanists for the Advancement of Science and Reason.
Oh, very good.
Very
Well, be
nice.
sure to post a link in the event page,
Oh,
so people can go see that,
if you want to know, here, wait, hang on, here you go.
We'll put it in the event page. That'll be
Copy
the
link. I
best
don't
thing.
know. Psh, Here.
Okay, just give me the link. I'll do it for you, my friend.
Do for,
Alright.
oops, do for me. There you go. This is my group, and it now changed. There you go. That's my group.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Sugar. Dun, 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 dun.
He's been having some.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, honey.
Mm. You're
Well,
my candy.
Candy girl.
Candy girl, right?
Yep.
Right. And you got me, I think, wanting you? Loving you or wanting you?
You got me wanting you.
Dun, dun.
That song was revived by the Brady Bunch movie. It was hilarious.
Oh, wait a
Did
minute.
you
Are
see
you
that?
talking about the parody?
Yeah, the parody movie. Remember?
I just saw that was on today. It was on today.
Oh, God, that's odd.
That's so funny. It was the first time I saw it. I was dying. It was so funny.
And they had that song. Sure.
I don't remember that part. I remember them doing and it was a song I used to love when the Brady's did it. When I think it was
It's actually
Peter.
Archie's.
I think it was Peter who was his voice was changing.
The
And they did that
song
song,
is
and it's time to change, it's time to
Yeah.
rearrange.
The song is actually the Archies. Sugar, sugar.
Right?
Where you come from, what you
Uh-huh.
want to be.
Mhm.
Yep, I remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so mad at the Brady Bunch because my family life was nothing like that. I would sit there and shake my fist. Damn you, Jan Brady.
hmm
That was a little joke, sorry.
Well, I named this hangout All Is Quiet on New Year's Day because, well, the nature of my work, I was extremely busy since Wednesday. And it was so good just to have a quiet day, just, oh God, relax my body, just watch movies. And one of them was the Brady Bunch parody movie. Another great movie was I watched for the first time. Did you guys see In God We Trust with Marty Feldman?
Oh, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
I think it was 1980. Hysterical.
I have to watch that
Yeah.
again.
The premise is Marty Feldman, if you remember, he had the bulging eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the comedian, and the premise is he's a monk, and they're coming on hard times. The whole monastery, you know, with their mortgage is up, and he's sent out into a world that he's never been in before, to seek out an evangelist slash philanthropist, you know, televangelist, you know, in Los Angeles, to get money from him. So his whole journey, and it's hysterical. The dichotomy between the monk and the televangelist, it's great. Really, I highly recommend it. It's funny.
Televangelist in Los Angeles. That's awesome.
The Los Angels,
It's poetry.
right? Isn't that what it means in Spanish? Los Angeles?
Los
The
Angeles.
Angels?
Lost Angels, right? No?
No,
No,
the Angels.
The Angels.
Oh, it's their Angels. I thought it was the Lost Angels. Okay,
No.
Lost. Yeah, the Lost. Yeah. I should know this.
Yeah, silly.
I'm sorry. I was just playing around.
So you guys got any resolutions for the new year? I got echo. Somebody's echoing.
Yeah, somebody else.
Headphones. I got headphones on.
It's Patrick.
Yeah, I switched my audio to studio, and that has a habit of creating echo. I'll mute.
Yeah, now I'm getting reverb from you.
Reverb.
Is that what you call it? Reverb. Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like
I was playing the Sugar Sugar song from the Archies, and I switched over to studio, and that sort of
that's
created
what
the echo.
would be reverb. Yeah.
Yeah. He sounds like he's on stage. That's cool.
Live.
There you go. Concert hall
That's
effect.
right. That's cool.
Any resolutions, Patrick, for the new year? Or you gave up on resolutions? or what?
I don't generally make any more resolutions, but 20 some odd years ago, I had resolved to stay sober on New Year's Eve, and I did, and I've been doing that for like 25 or 30 years now. I lost count.
That's good.
You look being
But
sober.
we did a major thing on my Facebook group in changing things the way they happened. And I wouldn't have been able to do that unless I was actually sober. It's not like I didn't drink any. I did have a few glasses of wine. But I was
Wait a minute,
basically
Patrick.
sober, and
I
woke
gotta
up-
challenge you here. You said you made a vow of sobriety 20 years ago?
But the idea is that on New Year's Day I would wake up sober, and in fact I woke up sober today, and I mean it's not like I didn't have a few glasses of wine last night or anything like that, but I did, but I was able to wake up early enough to do my chores and things like this. The point is
You
that
weren't hungover. You're giving up being hungover.
right. I got that's actually basically it. You're right. I basically
Yeah.
gave up on being hungover on New Year's Day.
I can't remember. Yeah, me too. Many years. Right.
It was an amazing thing. I was still married at the time. I woke up after making that New Year's resolution 25 or more years ago. I lost count. Don't ask me the exact date. But the point is that I woke up and I got into the car and I was driving around completely sober. I didn't even drink that night. And like it was, I'm talking about being in a place in New Jersey where you usually see chaos on New Year's Day. I woke up on New Year's Day and there was like nobody on the road. I basically had the road to myself because everybody else was fucking hungover, not willing to get up and get in their cars or anything like that. So from that day on, I resolved to be sober on New Year's Day from then until whenever.
That sounds like a good deal.
And I guess with the new name change on your Facebook page, your group and stuff, I guess you have some aspirations for that for the coming year, for this year.
That was thanks to an admin of mine who I would have never thought of it, but Peter LaBelle is an admin of mine in that group. It was his suggestion that we should change the name because of the stigma that comes along with the atheist word. I don't mind. I mean, I tell everybody that I'm an atheist, and I tell them I'm a son of a bitch of an atheist, all that stuff. You know about that. But the point is that my group is. I created it 3.5 to 4 years ago. I lose count. With the idea of changing the world, kind of thing. But the stigma seems to have created a thing where people weren't posting things about what the group is about posting stuff that changes the attitude of the world and stuff, science and things like that. But it seems like it was caught up, and it was like nobody was posting the things that I was made the group for. So Peter LaBelle came along, and I have a semi-secret group on Facebook called Admins Roundtable. And
Not
in that
secret
group,
anymore.
in that group, he posted the idea that we should change the name because it seems that people are not paying attention to what we're really all about. So I took him on his word, and I started this whole thing with this voting thing, and it was like it turned into a party, and it was
Cool.
very successful.
So what are you guys chatting about right now in that group as far as
Well, go there,
things
and
that I
join.
think-
Go
well, no,
there
I'm
and
just
join.
saying
Find out for yourself.
for the for our audience now.
Well, I mean, go there and join. And find out for yourself. Check it out. Here, I'll give you the link. Here, let me copy.
No, but
the
I'm
link.
just saying for the just to give you opportunity here, just to with the
Well,
whoever watches the channel.
I can't
let's kind of,
I can't like speak for everybody else, but here's the link. Here, go to the group and check it out.
no, I'm saying, is there anything NASA doing this coming year?
Oh, they're always doing something. I mean, we're all trying to follow. I actually have two groups. The other group is the space exploration, mission followers. That's that sort of thing. It's a sister group of the atheist group. But yeah, I mean, that's what we're all about. We're all about following
Is
the
that a
science.
stepsister or a
Following...
half sister or a? Oh, sorry.
wait. What was that?
Yeah, it took me a moment. Wait. No.
That was funny. Yeah. The sister group of the Atheists for the Advancement of Science, Reason, and Morality, which now is Humanists for the Advancement of Science and Reason, is the group that started out with a Facebook page that I had originally called Curiosity Rover Landing. It's a really long name, but it had to do with the fact that we were following the Curiosity Rover landing, and it turned into the group, the Facebook group, the Curiosity Rover Landing Group, which now is the Space Exploration Group. The point is that we were actually following the whole landing thing about the Curiosity rover, and NASA has this thing where they had this animation going on with the so we were doing that whole thing. We were actually back in 2012, August of 2012. We were following the whole thing. But the group still only has about 150, give or take, members. And it's kind of weird because it seems like if you put the word atheist before a group name, like, you'll have thousands of members. But if you just make the group about science, you're only going to have about 100 or 200 members. So it was kind of like disappointing. But yeah, we do have a sister group that had to do with following the Curiosity rover landing. That started out as a Facebook page that turned into a Facebook group.
And if anybody who's listening wants that link is on the event page of this hangout.
Here, let me
I did
do
come
that too.
across a story today. Let me see here. Where is it? Let me just share the page. Do you see that? This is from tech.mike. You see that on your screen?
Here, let me show you. Let me share that particular group too. There you go. That's the.
Oh, you don't see it on your screen?
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Now I see something. All right. Let me
Let
highlight
me
your.
present. Let me present to
Yeah,
everyone.
there you go.
How's that?
I just see your avatar. Oh, wait, there it is.
Click on the box. It might come up.
Yeah, the world is racing to
It
build moon
just
base.
came up. Yeah. You do like me, right, Patrick?
I love you.
Okay.
I don't just
so
like you. I love you.
Oh, he's
I love-
professed his love right here live
Well,
on the
come
Night
on.
Owl.
How many times
Patrick
has Patrick
loves
professed his love?
sugar.
He's done that before. But guess what? It's all going to end in just a few minutes when I.
Wait.
When I-
What are you saying?
when I
What's
say what I'm
ending?
gonna say.
Are you breaking up with me?
You always profess your love to me,
Yes.
but I have a
Yes.
feeling that you may not feel that way in a couple minutes.
And maybe in one of your future dates, you can go on the moon base that the European Space Agency wants to put on the moon in 2030.
You're never gonna
What do you
get me
think?
out there. I gotta tell you the truth, John.
What's the
I,
purpose? What's the
I-
purpose of it?
I'm-
Patrick, if I said to you, I want to make love to you on the moon, on the space station, on the moon space station, you wouldn't go?
Oh, I'm there, baby.
The power of the
I was going
pussy.
to question your love right then and there, mister. Yeah, right. I could count on you.
Hey, Frank,
Patrick.
would you take a trip to the moon if you could?
Hell yeah.
But seriously, here's the thing.
Seriously.
Like 200. I think right now they're looking at what's gonna cost like $250,000, $300,000 to go do like a.
I wouldn't pay that. Even if I had the
What's
money,
it-
I wouldn't do it.
But seriously, here's the thing, John. I know my limitations. I know what I love stuff about space exploration and things like that. I simply admit to everybody and myself that I don't have the right stuff. In other words, I don't
Most
think
people don't.
that I can go out there and be able to survive. In other words, I need all the comforts of home. But I appreciate and profess the amazing. I love the people who do that. I love the astronauts who go out there and do that. I personally admit that I don't have the right stuff to be able to do that. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I think most people can't. I don't think most people, that's why it's called the right stuff, right? Otherwise it would be the everybody stuff.
It kind of baffles me, you being of such a space enthusiast, not, given the chance, a safe flight, say, to go to the moon, whatever, maybe overnight, you come back. You wouldn't want to do that. It's like I find like somebody who might be.
It's not that I don't want to do it. I do want to do it. It's just that I'm a realist. I understand my own limitations, and I understand that in reality, I would not. Most likely, in all things considered, I probably would not be able to do it.
You think you get space sick?
Look, let's get blunt, okay?
Okay.
I'm the kind of person, I'm sitting here in front of you, I'm talking to you, I'm having a great time, I'm drinking my beer or whatever. All of a sudden, I have to jump up and go to the bathroom. Am I going to be able to do that up there? No.
Yes. It's like you're on an airplane.
Yeah, this is the kind of stupid shit I'm talking about.
No, I'm saying if you're able to go like in a shuttle, just like in an airplane, you have the comfort, you can sit down, you probably can get fucking Wi-Fi. There's a bathroom in the back,
if you were telling me that I had all the comforts at home, absolutely.
Yeah, like an airplane,
yes.
dude.
But that's not reality, though. That's not reality. The reality is the reality is that you're not going to be able to have those comforts. You need to have the right stuff. You need to be able to understand that.
Dude, Virgin's working on it.
Yeah, we're all working on it, and sooner or later, probably in about 25 or 30 years, we may have that. But the fact is,
they already
that right
got
now we don't.
prototypes built. Don't they have a prototype built already?
Sorry.
Yes, there are definitely thoughts about doing that, because we have to be able to do that, because sooner or later, probably after I'm dead, I'm 56 years old and I only have less than 50 years to go. But the point is that yes, we're gonna have to. We are thinking about those things, but at the moment, like right now, it's not.
All right.
That's not the way it is.
Should we clarify?
Right now, it's you have to learn how to fucking shit in your diaper, kind of thing. Okay, and I'm not about that.
I'm not going. I got a question. though.
It's just like, okay, please fasten your
gentlemen.
seatbelts, and your seat's gonna be an opening when
Yeah.
you start going fucking full G-force and.
Yeah. Sooner or later, probably after I'm dead, things will be that way. But right now, it's not like that. So I have to abstain from that.
Fasten your seatbelts and drop your pants. We're going to the moon, baby.
Oops,
Gonna
what
be
did
a
I
little
just
bit
do?
of pressure
I just
here.
clicked on the wrong button.
So let me ask you something. What are we doing up there? What's the purpose? What's the
The
purpose of
view,
going
baby.
to the
The
moon?
view alone. Come on.
No,
Come on.
I'm not
Take
paying all that
selfies
money
you
for the
could get on
view.
Facebook being on the
Forget
moon.
about it. Forget.
Come on. Look
Me and
at this.
my
They're
cam.
planning, look, moon igloos. This story here,
But
right?
why are we
Look.
going?
Because we can.
Here's the thing, Sugar. Here's the thing,
It's not
Sugar.
good enough.
The reason, no,
That's
Sugar.
not
Here's
good
the thing.
enough.
Sugar. Here's the thing. In order
Look, they're
for
going
us to,
to do 3D printing. They're already figuring out a way. They're going to send the 3D printing up first, and they're going to make the fucking structures right there on the moon, just printed there, using the material from the moon, and this way they don't have to ship anything up there. Fucking great idea.
here's the thing, Brother John and Sugar, Brother John and Sugar. Here's the thing. It's just like when you were a child, you were going to school to learn things. What we're doing right now in space, and what they're doing right now in space, the fact that they're sending up these probes and trying to figure out how to do, this is going to school.
Okay,
Long
so what
after
are we
we're
learning?
dead. I mean, I'm 56. Sugar, you're
got
about
less
the
than
same
50
age.
Dude,
maybe
they're
a
looking
couple
to
years
do this
older.
by 2030, man. 2030.
Hang on. The point I'm trying to make here is,
14 now. 14 years away.
Brother John, please let me finish. The point I'm trying to make here is that we can't. You're asking a question that is like you expect an answer. The point is that we're going to school. We're taking ourselves to school. We have to learn how to do these things. Because in
What are we
50 or
studying
100
for?
years from now, we're going to have to leave this planet. You know, we're
Whoa,
learning how to
whoa,
do
whoa,
this.
whoa,
We're learning how to
whoa,
leave the
whoa,
planet. We're
whoa.
learning how to create these things.
Here's
We're
where our
learning how
love
to.
ends. Here's where our
That's
love
what it's
ends.
about.
This is what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you to abandon science. I'm not saying that it's bad. All I want to know is why is it that we abuse this planet and these people, and we're going to go off to the moon and live up there? Why don't we just fix what's down here, save all the money,
But
go into other sciences?
that's a false
Why do we have to go to the
dichotomy.
moon?
That's a false dichotomy. You're asking
How
a
do you
good,
know?
you're asking a good question. It is a shame that some people, not everyone, but some people abuse this planet.
Well,
But what we're doing out there in space, it has nothing to do
Because
with
God
has nothing to do with the
chooses-
assholes that are abusing the planet. At the same time, we're trying to teach those assholes to stop abusing the planet.
well, there really is no space, right? Like we live under a dome on a flat Earth, right? Right? And this
Hello,
whole-
Michael.
right,
Happy
Pillbox.
New Year.
Got it.
My
Happy
point
New
is
Year,
that,
Mike.
God picks and
Enclosed by a
chooses
firmament.
who he talks to, right? So why is it that these people are being left out again? It feels like forget it. Have fun going to the moon, you crazy kids. Have fun.
Wow, we're going to the moon for
Send
the
me a
weekend,
postcard.
all right? Yeah. We're going to
You know what I
Club
want?
Crater,
I
man.
want-
We're going to party all night.
Get me a little shot glass. I want a shot glass from the Sea of Tranquility. Yep, that's what I want. Hi, Michael.
A shot would make things more tranquil right now.
It would.
All geared up.
Yes.
I'm gonna drop my link. I want everybody to check it out.
Oh, I'm hearing music.
He's white. It's
Yeah, you gotta
wrong.
cut the
He's
Psychedelic.
How to mute him. I don't know what he's playing. I don't want to get flagged.
Patrick, I love you. I didn't say all that. I think
I'm
that
sorry,
song
I was
is
just playing
not,
around.
It doesn't have royalties on. I mean, I don't think it doesn't have anything on it. I had checked at one point.
Oh, that was you playing the music, Patrick?
Yeah, I was just playing.
you're
I
naughty
had that
boy, you
video
should know
queued
better.
up from a while ago.
You
I'm
naughty
not
man.
gonna do that stupid shit where I play it through the system. I was playing it through the mic.
I think
That
that's
looks like
open.
the Grunfeld in your background, Patrick.
What's that?
Oh no, it's the Royal Lopez.
Couldn't hear him.
Neither the Roy Lopez nor the Grunfeld. Maybe I'm not making it out right.
We're talking chess. Do I have something up? I have the chessboard behind me. Yeah, it's just a.
Yeah, good vision. I can't see that.
Oh,
Sounds like something St. Tommy would say.
Hey, so Michael, would you take a trip to the moon with all the comforts of, like, say, an airplane?
Well, I would hope that I could get out of the seatbelt and float around a bit, but yeah, sure.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that's the question.
Oh, you're
isn't
gonna
it?
be
Is
hooked
if
up
you
with
had the if you had the
assholes.
comfort of the airplane.
Hmm. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's anti-gravity time. We're going to do one section at a time. You'll get a 1 minute float in the air.
Woo! Please
Oh,
unhook
give a
your
new
ass
meaning to the
pipe.
Mile High Cobb, right?
Ooh.
Would
Yeah.
you guys
I
trap?
wonder what would happen if you masturbate in anti-zero gravity.
No, that's gonna
Oh,
be
and you're
messy.
sitting next.
Now there's an
person sitting
experience that I
next
never thought of. Oh wow, sugar just like left.
Sugar,
There's an
sugar.
experience I never thought of.
I think of these
Honey.
things while out of space.
Masturbating in space.
Look at the pelican fly.
I mean, you have to think about blood pressure and things like that. Like, is the gravity having to do with the orgasmic experience? You know?
Would it enhance it?
Yeah, would it enhance it? Would it make it worse? I don't know. You know, we have to experiment with that.
Imagine, yeah. Probably wouldn't get as good as a thrust.
Yeah, since
Well,
we-
they talked about having sex in space. There was a documentary actually, but I wasn't listening to the whole part. I was just watching the sex in space. Well, is it possible to do that?
Didn't they already do that? Didn't they already send people into space to get it on?
I'm not sure. Did they?
All
Patrick,
joking
no.
aside, all joking aside,
it was a vacuous pump.
seriously, all joking aside, and I love to joke about that stuff too. But all joking aside, there is a specific problem, or I should say, conversation about long-term living in space with people. Because if we're talking about sending people out to even as nearby as Mars, but in the far future, long after we're all dead, interstellar space, we're talking about people living with each other, and there are definitely psychological and sexual and things that you have to think about. And
That's
there
what I'm
are seriously the people who are doing the Mars One thing, they are seriously experimenting with these ideas and trying to create groups of people
Yeah.
who are compatible with each other and things like this. There is a serious discussion about this going on.
Yes, and I'm definitely aware of the implications of long-term space travel, even, what happens to you physically, but I'm saying just the act of having sex.
And would it be
allow-
harder to get pregnant in space?
Well, that's the thing. A baby, like the current technology that we have, it's not going to allow that to happen because because of gravity, and the bone density will be very thin, and it's
Yeah,
not
gestation.
a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
the bone will loosen, and then when you're having that bone-pounding sex, you'll break a hip, right? And that's why in the future we're all gray aliens and with thin bodies, and we're desexualized, revisiting ourselves.
That's interesting, Michael, because I did read a book about that.
Not to over promote science fiction. I want to promote right now the idea of I want you all to think about reading Orson Scott Card, the First Formic Wars. It was the prerequisites of the movie. Oh damn it!
See, here's the thing,
Is there
Patrick.
sex in space?
It
Yeah,
had to do with it had to do with people living out in space, and the Italians were the Kuiper Belt miners and things like this. There's a movie and a book. It's on the tip of my tongue. That was actually later in the genre of years.
Quickly, I'm going to
Ender's
turn into a
Game.
pumpkin.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I'm going to turn
Ender's
into a
Game.
pumpkin.
Ender's Game. Ender's Game is the actual later movie that had to do with the First Formic
that,
Wars.
okay.
So I recommend, if my clock would stop chiming, I would recommend the Orson Scott Card's The First Formic Wars. It has to do with the prerequisites of the Ender's Game. It talks about people living out in space, and they're very close. It's science fiction. It's fantasy, but it has to do with some realistic ideas about space travel and living out in the Kuiper Belt. And
Take another hit off the pipe, Patrick.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't understand why.
What were you going to say,
Great-
Sugar?
Nothing. Great idea. Great idea. Great idea.
Well, the one guy who is the one that goes to the lunar base and warns the people about these aliens happens to be a Kuiper Belt miner, Italian guy who, in other words, the stuff that we're talking about living out in space and having bone density and stuff like that, and the weakness of your muscles. Orson Scott Card addresses these issues, and it makes. I mean, it is science fiction. Don't get me wrong. It's just fantasy and science fiction, but he addresses these real science things about those sort of things. And I would recommend you guys to check this.
So,
the
Sugar,
science
you
fiction out.
don't think we should colonize? You don't think we should colonize Moon or
Well, once we
moon
get
bases?
once we get
I'm
everybody.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Before we get into colonization, I just still want to talk about the sex here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, so here's the
I
thing.
posted up
That's
in the
part of it.
article. It's hard to get a boner out in space.
Well, I want to know about
It's
how
very
I'm going to
hard.
hold my.
Do you
I
know
wanna-
that for
how
sure?
Am I, how am I
do you
going to
know-
hold
do you
my
know that?
legs?
I'm,
How am I going to hold my legs that spread apart by my
I'm
knees?
actually getting this
Yeah,
to the BuzzFeed. This is a astronomer, a physicist, John Mills, PhD. He said, if you think gravity is that stiffy, in microgravity, it will be difficult for enough blood to flow into the penis during erection.
That's it. I'm not going.
You see, and
Yeah.
it won't be
I find
easy
it hard to
get
believe.
This is from an astronomer, John Mills, PhD.
He's a man of science, Patrick.
Yes.
Save the.
No, I just find it hard to believe.
Why have sex with another person? We should have robot sex by then. Vacuums and shit.
We're only talking
that's a
14
good-
years. Oh, wait a minute. They've got those things that you can plug into your USB ports on the computer.
Jackhammer.
Yeah, they get that.
Yeah, virtual reality.
They got that now, so they can just, and then you could hook that up to one of those new real dolls, those $5,000 or $6,000 realistic dolls, Yeah.
Well, one of the things that when you're in space, or let's say hyperspace, you're sleeping, you go into this virtual world where you're living a life.
Mm.
That's one. This is sci-fi, by the way, but that's the other thing that's really possible. Two, it won't be easy to get a lady a boner either. I don't know what that means. The third one is vaginal wetness can be an issue up in space.
I got a good loop for that, though.
In
wipe.
space, you have a lower libido. There are no porno for American astronauts. I don't know what that means.
What?
Yeah, they're given reasons. And the other thing is that sex will be tenuous and tiring. Because you have to do a lot of work.
I'm finding it's all hard to comprehend.
Well, I think with the boner thing, I could agree with that, given the fact that, given our technology, that we're not going to be able to do that at this moment, unless we're in some space station where we have Earth-type gravity or something like that.
Patrick, what day is your science? What day is your science group meet? Your Facebook science group.
What day do they meet in space?
No. I mean, here's the
Yes.
thing, Patrick. I really think that we should start working on this right now, because if we can get the science group together to start talking about this, because this is a big deal to me.
No,
Big deal.
I don't mean to.
Frank says he can't get a boner in space.
I'm listening to what he's saying. I'm questioning the validity of what he's. In other words, we don't know. None of us have been out in space, so we don't really know that this is true. The point I'm trying to make here is.
Speak for yourself. I've been out of space.
The point
Frank's
I'm trying to make
practically
here
a doctor, and he's quoting science man.
seriously, the point I'm trying to make here is that human nature, we get horny, man or woman, we go. The point is that what SpaceX and what the Mars one was trying to do was to understand that there are human needs, and the idea of living together in space, there is going to be tensions. Whether or not, the lack of gravity and stuff has an effect, I have no idea, because I was never there and I never experienced zero gravity except for being on a roller coaster once. I don't know how that works. The point is that there are those psychological.
Sounds like we're going to need some extra strength Viagra.
Yeah, we're gonna have to think about these things. That's the point. The point is that we have to think about these things. In seriously thinking, in long-term ideas of space exploration, long-term space travel with men and women aboard, you do actually have to think about these things. whether or not whatever the other guy's talking about, whether or not that's actually true, I cannot
Gotcha,
say.
Pat.
I
Got you,
cannot
bro.
give you any realistic educational thing about
Well,
it
look at
because
the
I was
problem
never
with
there.
you and Sugar in space, Patrick. You and Sugar flying in space, having all these problems, having bondage set. You got to strap her down in bondage, and then take Viagra, and then use a vacuum to get it up anyway. And
Dude, what makes you
I
think
like
that I
it.
need
No.
Viagra?
Wait. Can you say that
Wait. I want
just
to
a
know
little
what makes him
slower?
think that I need
Just
Viagra.
everybody needs Viagra
In
in
space, you
space.
in space seems like you're gonna need
Frank
Viagra.
just said that you can't get a boner in space. If my little green
Yeah.
man doesn't get fed, it's a big
I'm
problem for
sorry. I'm
me.
sorry. I don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Science,
you don't even
Patrick.
Sugar turns me on anyway. Why would I need Viagra?
There you go. See, and I'll only turn you on
Oh.
half as much in space. That's the
And in
problem.
anti-gravity, freak,
it'll be like shooting pool with a rope. You'll kind of be there, but not all the way.
I mean, come on, in anti-gravity,
you'll
the
probably
blood flows
bust his
better.
hip, Sugar.
The blood
probably
flows
break his
easier in
bones.
anti-gravity, doesn't it?
I don't know. What was that, Brother John?
I said you're probably gonna break a few bones to Patrick out in space.
Oh, kidding? Do you know that the rough play that's illegal here on Earth? You could do up there because yeah. I got to tell you, I see big things in my future. Big things. I got to go rent Armageddon right now.
Well, before you do that, can you go to the link I dropped in the side, Sugar, and check out the first video that shows up? It's only a minute and a half.
Oh, you know what? I don't have side chat because my computer blew up and I'm on my phone.
It's MikeFall.com.
You could send it to me. Is it porn? Is it you?
For
Is
those
it you
listening,
naked? Is it you naked doing porn?
MikeFahl.com.
If you could send it to me through Google, but is it Michael? Is it you? Is it you naked? And is it you naked doing porn? Just yes to any of those.
Me naked, but only psychologically naked. At MikeFed.com. Yeah.
Okay, all right. If you could just send it to me on the Google, I will.
I don't know if I can.
All right. Could somebody pass it on to me?
I'll think about it. I'll work it.
Help a brother out.
Send a message.
I'll be right back, guys.
We're
I have to go use the little boy's room to go take a piss.
Thank you.
Okay. You know what? They didn't say that we could walk amongst the cabin, or never mind. Boners in space.
Sex in space. That's what we're talking about.
I thought they did send somebody on the space station, or Michael, do you remember that? Didn't they do a sex experiment in space back in the day when we were young? Hello.
Hello, Michael. Michael, you're muted.
Michael?
Well, no, I was trying to do the Google thing on another page, but so I couldn't get back to you. But no, I heard something speculatively about sex in space, but I thought it was just someone running their index finger through their other hand.
Yeah, it could be. I'm gonna have to look.
I just read 2 articles about people trying it, and they say the same thing. Low blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And with low blood pressure, that tells you right there.
Yeah, but you could put mass trousers on them. You could put mass trousers on, the same thing that fighter pilots wear, that keep the blood shunted up towards the torso. You got that? There we go. We got that problem taken care of. We use them in trauma on the ambulance as well. Some places do.
Yeah, well, it looks like these haven't really been successful as far as, but they're trying again. Actually, there's another article that Pornhub wants to do a scene.
Porn in space.
Porn in space. Oh, she's gone.
Okay, I just
Hello? Oh.
your last post.
Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Pornhub. So they want to do a scene in space. So here's the thing. what if the man gets a boner before they take off? You tie a string around it, and then just,
Ow.
keep it, like a cockroach type of
No.
thing. No?
No.
Why? Why is that like?
Like he's a
Yeah,
balloon
I
type.
get it.
He's a helium balloon floating in space, and you pull him around by his dick through the caverns of the
Yeah,
space.
I'm not playing with that. I don't think any guy will play.
All right, all right.
I'll play
You
that.
don't want it, you don't want it.
It's comfy Velcro. I'll
Too
do
Not
much
like
of
having
a
a
risk.
headache, like a space headache.
I'll even put a piercing, a Prince Henry or whatever through Albert through my dick. So like
There you
a
go.
cow's nose, you can pull it along by its nose.
Baby, come on! It's my birthday.
How about
Come
drinking
on.
alcohol? Space. You talk. Yeah.
It's a vasodilator.
I dropped you the link on your Google page on your latest post.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, well, we'll go back to the drawing board. I'm sure Patrick will figure it out. He's a man of science, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
Frank.
yes.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I'm saying
I don't want
that.
to. I don't want to go off topic. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, Sex in Space is not going to happen anytime soon, but within probably 5 years, I think they'll work out the kinks, or maybe earlier.
They'll work out the kinks. That means two things. Sorry.
There you go.
That means there's not enough blood in my dick, and it is bending backwards.
Frank, you were the one who said boner first. Come on, you brought this on yourself.
No,
Call you curly.
I was very interested in this subject, which I still am.
I was too. I'll only be 56 in 5 years. I'm good to go. I will go
We're
up
gonna
there.
have a base at 2030. Well, I mean, that's
Don't really care for the moon. I'm not a moon guy.
just at least
I'm
just a
not a
flight.
moon
Take the
guy.
flight. I'm not a moon guy.
Yeah,
How
I'm
do
not
you
a
know
moon.
if you haven't been there yet?
Abner.
I think the moon is boring. I don't know.
See a tranquility. See a
For the
nothing.
Mars,
See conspiracy theorists.
or
I
one
get
of
up
the
there
moons in
and moon
Jupiter.
pillbox is what I'll do.
I think it's a two-dimensional cutout, to be honest. The Truman Show's right.
That's no moon. Just Death Star.
Yes.
Imagine how quiet it is out in space.
Yes, one of the articles I was reading about Sex in Space, it says no one could hear you moan in space.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, so you can't even hear the other person.
Well, that's if you're not wearing a helmet. If you were able to not wear a helmet.
No.
Well, you would have an intercom. They have those intercoms in the helmets.
Oh yeah.
You have
True.
to do it with a helmet on.
This is Sugar over to Patrick. Patrick, I'm feeling a little randy right now. Over.
Oh.
Melissa,
Yeah,
because-
a little. No, that's not it. That's not it, Patrick.
Wrong hole.
Over.
Wrong hole. Wrong hole. Wrong hole.
Can you put some tune on that, Twain?
Houston.
we have a problem. Please send more Viagra.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
When you fuck in space, the cosmos fucks with you.
I love it.
Speaking of space, another movie I saw today was from the 90s, Meteor Man. Did you guys see Meteor Man?
I never saw it.
I think I seen that during a really crazy acid trip, but remind me.
What's the actor's name?
Oh yes,
Jennings?
I know. I know that movie. Oh my God.
Meteor Man was an excellent spoof.
Oh, yeah. Bowie's falling to Earth. What was it a spoof of?
It was a spoof. It was a superhero spoof. It was a black thing. It was a, but it was an
A
excellent
black
spoof.
thing.
Yeah, it was a
What do you
black
mean a
thing.
black
It was
thing?
It was definitely it was
Well,
it was
yeah, main characters
was,
are black.
yeah, it was a
Well-
racist, kind of black thing, but
But it was a very
an excellent
serious.
it was an excellent spoof. It was an
Yeah.
excellent. It was a comedy. And,
But it had a message.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool movie.
Wait, what was it called again?
Meteor Man.
Meteor Man.
Meteor Man.
Yeah. This well-mannered African, black. I'm gonna say black. Well, black teacher.
Brother John, did you just
kinda got
did
a
you just say
laid-back
black?
Black.
Are you a racist, Brother John?
Oh no, here he goes. I'm gonna get a soda.
Dark brown.
Hey, some of you people who claim not to be racist say, I got a black friend. Well, guess what? I got a black wife, all right? So there you go.
I have a black.
But,
Checkmate.
It was definitely a cool spoof movie, comedy, sci-fi.
All right. Yeah, so a mild-mannered black man, teacher, kind of takes a backseat approach to the problems in the neighborhood, thinks there's no, can't do anything, and he's got a father who's a total opposite activist, and one day he's in the alley, and he gets struck by a meteor and gets these superpowers. He's able to heal fast, he has X-ray vision, he's got laser eyes, he's like the black Superman, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a comedy spoof sci-fi, kind of like it was.
Which I liked.
It was a cool. It was a cool movie. I
where
liked it. I liked it.
if he touched a book, he would get all the knowledge in that book for 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's
What
right.
did I miss?
That's right. One of his superpowers was he was able to absorb information.
But it only lasted 30 seconds.
Is that right? I don't know. It was a while since I
Learn
seen
how,
that.
he
Well,
could
I
learn
just
how
saw
to mix his oatmeal together.
Oh. Lasted 30 seconds.
Well, there's like a fight
Oatmeal.
scene, and he touches kung fu, mastering kung fu with Bruce Lee.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He read the book or something, and he all of a sudden became a kung fu master.
Very pre-Matrix. Very pre-Ren in the new Star Wars. It could be an interesting proto movie, like you say. Is it played by Sidney Poitier? Who's the guy who's the star?
Jennings, I forget his first name. Is it Edward Jennings?
I don't
Kung
remember.
Fu with love.
There's a great thing we have now. It's called Google.
Right, but that's Bruce Willis, the black male lover.
Yeah, I unfortunately I don't remember the people's names, but I know where you're coming from, Brother John. It's the movie was definitely it was one of those spoof movies that was designed by the black community to make fun of white people, kind of thing. It was definitely a cool movie. I liked it. I actually enjoyed it.
There you go, Meteor Man.
Well, Patrick, did you think that Planet of the Apes was a racially loaded film?
Are you talking about the original, or are you talking about the later?
Either one.
You have to understand that I'm 56 years old, and you have to understand that I come from a racially motivated, society. Planet of the Apes, the original, was in fact about that thing, whereas the newer stuff was sort of apologizing for that. So I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Wait a minute.
Oh, just a quick note. Bill Cosby was in Meteor Man, and he had a non-speaking role.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I didn't know that.
Too soon? Sorry.
He was the bad ape that was raping the rest, trying to get him to go to war.
A lot of press lately.
Wow, this is better than Quaaludes, man. I got the because he had a little part of the meteor hidden in a box, and he would rub it with his hand, and it would give him powers momentarily. So towards the end of the
That's
movie,
a
he helps
shame.
out Meteor
You know,
Man.
you know what's fucked up. You know what's fucked up. You know what's fucked up is like as a kid, I used to love the comedy of Bill Cosby. I didn't know that he was like that. And that's
The
what's
rest of
fucked
us
up.
did. How did you not
know
know,
what's fucked
Patrick?
up? What's fucked up is that you learn about these things about these people later on.
What do you think, Fubba Wubba Fabba Albert, man?
What?
Oh no, garbage mouth.
I'm sorry, Michael. I'm having a hard time understanding
I
you.
said, Patrick, what did you think, Fubba Wubba Fabba Albert, man?
Oh. The Fat Albert cartoon series was excellent. It was excellent, and Bill Cosby was the voices for all of the characters, and it was actually wonderful. It was a great fucking series, you know. But that's what disappoints me the most. What disappoints me is that this person.
That's what disappoints you the most.
Childhood
Yes.
hero.
What disappoints me the most is that this person that I grew up with, sort of, you know, with these great ideas and stuff, turns out to be somebody who also was a predator of some sort. You know.
And Huxtable was a family man. So after the great comedy, after Fat Albert, great comedy, and then this family man, then we find out he's been drugging and sexing people the whole time. It's like, it's so weird that now in retrospect we have to look back on him with this new lens.
Yeah, yeah.
I blame Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, no, Michael's absolutely right. It's about the retrospect. It's about.
Remember, allegedly.
Is
No,
it an allege?
But Michael is actually
He's still
Michael.
going to court over this. Yeah.
Michael is actually right. He's absolutely correct. You know, we grew up. You know, some of us. I'm 56 years old, so I grew up with respecting this person. And, you know, and all the things that he did, and the Fat Albert cartoon series, and all that stuff, and we find out that he wasn't such a nice person after all, and it hurts.
Oh
It
my
hurts
God!
to-
He was a fucking human being.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
exactly. Yeah,
Corrupted by fame.
It does hurt. It does
Oh
hurt
my
to find
God,
out
I
somebody that you
know.
respected.
Surprise.
That, you know, turns out to be somebody who fucked up.
Yes, it's a big surprise.
Yeah, it
Big
is.
surprise.
It is.
I'm so shocked.
But
I know.
that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, because you set up false idols, Patrick. You put this man up on a pedestal,
No,
and
no.
he is falling.
Come on, stop. The
giving
point
Sugar a
is
headache.
no.
Patrick's
The
hurt
point.
over this, Brother John.
What's that?
Without getting
I said,
overzealous on
Patrick
this.
is hurt about this, Brother John.
Without getting overzealous about this, the point is that Michael is right. He's right. We did grow up with this guy who created these great shows, and you know, the Fat Albert series and these family shows, and it, you know, and now all of a sudden we're realizing that this person may not have been such a great guy after all.
But
It does hurt.
Patrick-
It does hurt. It does hurt to
Brother
realize
John.
that.
Brother John, please.
Why? Are you serious, Sugar?
It's too soon, honey. It's really too soon.
You're being facetious.
I just
You
want
gotta
some pudding.
Come on, I'm trying to be
You're a good
serious here.
actress. You're a good actress,
I'm trying to be serious here.
Look at Patrick.
Well, Patrick, the thing is that Mushmouth was after he drugged his first woman, he was sticking his fat cock in her mouth, in her passed out mouth, and that's where he came up with
Oh
Mushmouth.
no.
That explains a lot.
Oh no.
I had a lot of questions about that character. I really did.
We're heading
Patrick,
down the rabbit
my
hole.
thing is, Patrick, you're 50 plus years old, and
That's
you
4.
act so surprised.
No, I'm trying to be serious here, but everybody's making jokes.
So?
No, I'm trying to give a perspective here. The perspective is that
No,
this
I
man-
get your perspective, but I think you.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. The point I'm trying to make here is
certainly
that
do.
no, what I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to make here is that there is a perspective that this person did actually have a contribution to the goodness or whatever, and to later, as old as I am, I see the entire spectrum.
How old are you again?
The point is, I'm 56. The point is I'm trying to make here is that while we see the good that he did, we also now all of a sudden, and I'm disappointed in this because I grew up with this person. I all of a sudden see all the bad that he did, and I didn't realize it, so that I have a disappointment.
Allegedly.
But that doesn't mean he didn't do any good. But the point is that we realize now that he was hiding the shit that he did, and it sucks. To me, it sucks that I found out about this. Yes, it does hurt.
But Patrick, did you know that in the future you're going to find out that Mark Hamill paid a lot of prison guards to be able to get in and butt fuck some rapers in the ass?
Oh, it's too soon for the butt fuck word.
And that'll
Way
be
too
the
soon.
doctor, right? Oh,
Way too soon.
Ooh,
I would prefer if you still refer to it as anal at this point. It's
balls.
way too soon for butt fuck. Really. Gentlemen, really, some decorum. It's a new year.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bubba here.
disrespect.
Yeah,
I'm not
we got
going
Bing Cosby, and we got him in the big house here. And I'll tell you,
Yeah, I'm not
me and the
going
boys,
there.
we're getting on Bing
Guys
Cosby.
are
I say,
disrespecting the
Baba
new year
Bing,
already.
Baba Bing.
Yeah, I'm not going there because I don't know anything about that.
Patrick, they're disrespecting the new year already.
I know. Tell me, right, Sugar? They're disrespect. They're so disrespectful.
I mean, I'm 51 years old. I shouldn't have to listen to this stuff.
Well, you know what? There's a little X button right in the upper right-hand corner.
But I'm a realist. I'm a realist,
I
and
got your X
I just
button right
want you
here.
people to realize what I'm talking about.
Hey,
It's marked the
hey,
spot.
it's my fat
fun.
Albert.
Hey! It's Fat Albert.
I want to sing a song for you. It's about niggas monkey stew.
It was a great show. It was definitely a cool show. And
Very good show. Excellent
was.
show, actually.
you can't disrespect that show. It's like,
And
now
it was a
anybody-
good show.
No, it's a great
Anybody
show.
makes
It's still
Fat
any
great.
Bubba.
doctor, anybody
Never
makes
liked the
any
movie,
Dr.
though.
Huxtable. What's his name? Oh, anyways, never mind.
Huxley.
That was also
Huxley.
a very good show.
Huxley.
Huxtable.
Huxtable. No, Huxtable.
The
Right?
Cosby Show was a really good. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
You know, they took it out of syndication because of this.
Well, that's a shame. It's a good show.
Yeah, but you know why they took it out of syndication?
Oh boy.
It's no joke.
An argument.
it's not joke.
I
mean, they took it out.
Advertisers.
Yeah, well, but when we were talking, he said, "Oh, that's
I
too
was
bad. Why
gonna
would they take it out of syndication? All the rest of the actors suffer." But the fact is, he owns content as a creator, a co-creator, so that's why they had to take it out.
Well, it's called the Cosby Show.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah. Don't want to. Yeah.
look, some of the theists I was hanging out with this morning, they ain't
Inadvertently
too bright,
supporting
okay?
his legal fees.
Yeah.
From
I would still watch the show. It's a good show.
No, I hear you. No, I said the ones I hung out with today, that we were talking about this very same thing. Actually, the last 2 days.
I'm one of those people that, and you can mock me for what I'm about to say. I don't care. I'm one of those people that feel that the good things that a person did should be taken into account. The fact that we're finding out things about this person that is not so very nice should definitely be addressed, and he should be slapped for that sort of thing. But I don't think that you should dismiss the fact that the stuff that he did do as good. You can't dismiss that. You don't want to excuse him. You don't want to use that as an excuse for him, but at the same time, you don't want to dismiss it.
No, I just want the judge to say, "I'm like Christ. You're forgiven." And
No, absolutely not. Absolutely, we do not want to forgive. We do not want to forgive him for what he did bad, but we also don't want to forget
Sounds
the
very
stuff that
godlike.
he did, the good that he did. In other words, what he did do good is not an excuse for what he did bad. But at the same time, we don't want to use what he did good as a forgiving for what he did bad. In other words, punish him
good?
for what he did do bad, but don't dismiss the ideas that he had for the good.
Okay, that's good. Or is it bad?
yeah, I mean, if Jeffrey Dahmer was also Einstein and developed relativity, I might go, I think we can take a little from the bad, but I don't know. It'd be tough. It's a tough taffy pull there. But I hear what you mean. Yeah, we all do a little bit of shit. I mean, if it turns out that in fact there is a God camera in every molecule, and God does a reel of all the times I wipe my ass and shit in public, or stepped on bugs and shit,
Can you really see that?
I think I'd feel devastated in the infinity of what's humanly possible.
Mhm.
All of the goo, all of
Michael, you're making me wonder why I agree with you earlier.
I don't know. Well, you tell me something about your unentangled.
I agree with you earlier, and now you're making me wondering why I did.
Who keeps kicking me? Is somebody keep kicking
No.
me out of here? Seriously.
Nobody's kicking you.
Mm.
A foot?
Look,
You might
I'm
get
Patrick.
slapped a
I'm on
little.
your side.
You might get
What?
slapped a little.
Mm.
What?
on your side.
Patrick, here, I have an interesting.
Look who's here.
Neo.
Neo's here.
Happy
Near
New Year,
Earth
Neo.
object.
Is it Neo Cloud?
Yes.
Yes, it
Yes. It's
Let's
near
all say
Earth
Happy New
object.
Let's all say Happy New Year to Neo.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Neo.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Year's. Happy New Year's.
Feliz Navidad.
Did you know that boners are called boners because they're shaped like a bow?
Did you know that you can't get a boner in space?
Mm.
No, I'm sorry, Sugar. I'm sorry. I'm still skeptical on that idea.
Okay. Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
I'd have to go out in space and find out if that's true.
Oh, we're back to
Well,
the boners.
There you go.
From Bill Cosby's boners.
How
Yeah.
could you not
Boners
get
to Bill
blood from that
Cosby,
area?
back to boners.
You can't. Even a girl can't get a boner in space. That's a damn shame. Really hurt about that.
I need to talk to some astronauts about that.
Yes,
I dare
please
you.
do.
You know what? Please, would you bring a video camera when you do ask them about their boners
Call
in
them
space?
up. Call them up.
That's the one that put on a diaper.
I love you, Sugar.
Love you too.
You didn't boner in space, sir.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Could you tell me about your boners in space, please?
You need a stronger arm in space.
I had a very weak arm. And Neo left.
Neo didn't like that. Was it for Neo.
Did it get in the way of your anus?
I'm serious. I really need to know this stuff now. You guys who fucking
Hey,
make me
read the
wonder.
article. I read 3 articles that saying you can't get boners in space, man. I was doing my little research there.
It's science, Patrick. It's science.
Well, I can't do this experiment without actually talking to somebody who's been there. You know.
I'm reading it. I'm reading these guys have PhDs in astrophysics.
Science.
They should send Bill
She
Cosby
blinded me with science.
in space. He should be locked as like one of the 3 bad guys in the Superman #2, and he can't get a boner indefinitely.
Yeah, go figure. Those three, whatever they are.
I gotta tell you though, I've never been out in
That
space, and
girl.
I've never been in zero gravity except maybe on a roller coaster. I
Oh,
gotta
you're gonna
tell
like
you
this,
that
what I found.
I gotta tell you that I'm skeptical on the idea that you can't get a boner. I mean, to
You have
me,
a
it seems
boner
like
right
zero
now,
gravity would
Patrick.
actually
It
give you a
makes
bigger
sense.
Patrick,
boner.
Patrick,
No,
you have a
it
boner right
doesn't.
now.
I'm sorry, what?
It's
Patrick, you have a boner
microgravity.
right now.
No, I don't. I'm
You
sorry.
don't have a boner
Work
right
one
now.
up real quick and for a minute, there, Patrick.
I know.
Never mind. The moment's gone. Never mind.
I'm sorry, Sugar, but the truth is I don't.
I
Get
really
a
appreciate if
boner
you
every
would keep
20
a
minutes.
boner, around me at all times. Please, somebody.
Because he thought when you're in space you would have boners all the time. So he wants.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in space there's zero gravity, the blood flows easier. You know.
You really don't understand science,
It's
do you?
the opposite. It's low
Calls
blood
himself a
pressure.
science man.
They had a lot of difficulties. They tried.
Hey, I got vaginal dryness to deal with. Okay,
And that's
don't
the
even
other
talk
thing.
to me about.
That's
Yeah,
the problem.
Well, they got baby oil for that.
That's why we.
baby oil. It's a
That's right.
petrochemical.
You
don't
know,
put a petrochemical
you
in my vagina.
may talk about KY juice and all that stuff, but you know
Astroglide.
what? The old-fashioned 1940s baby oil is the best.
Do you know that's a petrochemical? You're going to wreck my vagina with that. I won't have it.
Well, that's why.
Baby oil is not petrol.
It's just a dust powder.
It's mineral. It's mineral oil.
It's Or you guys are striking wood. You guys are making fire because it's all dry. It's dry, the driest of insertion humps.
Oh.
If you can't use the petroleum, then Christ, squeeze some grass together. Let the dog lick your hand. Get something around there.
Well, I have no problem with abstaining from baby oil. We'll go with the KY.
I'm so lucky
We'll
right now.
go with the KY. That's cool with me.
What are you bragging about, Frank? Do you have a boner right now? Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
You're
no,
bragging
because-
about that?
No, check this out. Where you guys are talking,
Mm-hmm.
my computer is cutting off. So I'm so glad that I'm not hearing parts of this conversation.
So what are you saying? Your computer's getting jealous?
It's protecting me from my, from my sensitive ears.
Your computer is getting nervous. Do you have artificial intelligence in your computer?
I could recap it for you. If you
love that.
I'll send you the cliff notes.
Oh God.
So he can have murder in the future and get away with it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't hear what was being.
I'm actually going to look that up. All joking aside, Sugar, I'm going to look that up. I'm going to find out about that baby oil thing. You're saying that it's petroleum.
Well, it's a mineral. It's a mineral oil.
I didn't think it was,
It
but
seems
it
like
might
you're
be
you're
really
saying.
planning on
Hang on,
space.
hang on. If Sugar is saying that it is, I'm definitely going to look that up.
It's mineral oil, I think, for sure. Or
I'm
castor
going to
oil
look
or
it up,
something.
and I'm
I
going to
could
get
be
back
wrong.
to you on
Either
that.
way, I don't like the smell of it, so I don't want it in my vagina. That's the bottom line, right there.
No problem. We'll use KY.
No, I don't like KY either. There's this
Really?
watermelon Astroglide that I really like.
Oh, okay. We'll use that then.
Thank you.
You and I were in
But seriously, I will look that up. I didn't know that about baby oil. If you think it's a
personal
petroleum, if you think that it's a petroleum product, I'm gonna look that up and I'll let you know what I find out.
Patrick, just between you and me, I don't need that stuff yet, so we're actually really good.
Between you and me and the live audience.
I missed.
I'm sorry, live audience, what?
And the live audience, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, whatever. But I am serious about looking that up.
Yes,
One
I'm
more
expecting a full report. Was it my imagination, or did Neo come in here, or was I dreaming that?
He put something outside that, I came in just to get kicked, and I said, no one kicked him. See, then that Sugar leaves. And I told him that you were having the same problem. I don't know. Some kind of
I don't
glitch
know what's
going
going
on.
on. I don't know. I haven't gotten kicked or. I think Sugar came in and out a couple of times. I think they're all having problems with the computers.
I'm so insignificantly significant right now.
Michael, you're so significant that you're insignificant, and you're so insignificant that you're significant.
And if I was in space with Sugar, I would just use my words till she like started producing liquid down there, and then I'd mix some Tang in it and feed it to the flying space dog. Because everyone could get thirsty in space, it might be like a Waterworld episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Well, anyway, hey, Happy New Year to y'all, and so forth.
Oh, you got any, before you leave, you got any, are you leaving? It sounds like you're leaving.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna back out. I gotta be more on a receiving end instead of a participatory thing for tonight.
Oh, okay. Quick question, any resolutions for 2016?
Yeah, I posted them on my Facebook page, but I don't know if you could get there. One of them is to quit chasing after Amy Schumer and just buy a seat to her show and a front row seat and tempt her with kosher bacon bits.
Okay. Who's Amy Schumer?
Oh, she's this young comedian lady. She's in Trainwreck, the movie. She wrote that, and she's all over. It's what Google's for. Like,
Okay, I'll check her out.
all right, well, have a good one.
You too, man. Live, love, and laugh for 2016.
I don't know what's going on. Why is everybody leaving all of a sudden?
I think Sugar's connection problems.
maybe. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Yes, she's been having connection problems throughout this session.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Frank,
Yes.
as co-moderator for the Night Owl community, right? 2016, we really didn't even discuss maybe any ideas, something to do for Night Owl coming year. Because I do these things pretty much
sorry,
on the fly. Hello? You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, you were cutting off a little bit.
Oh, okay. I said
plans for 2016?
2016 for Night Owl community. What do you, as a
ideas.
co-moderator here, any ideas? Because, I usually do most of these things on the fly, spur of the moment, just when I'm in the mood. I don't know.
I think that's great to do it on the fly. I think I don't think the Night Owl community should be
pun intended.
Yeah, it shouldn't be something so whatchamacallit, structured. Yeah, it should be spontaneous, and I think that's great. You know?
Well, yeah, like what I try to do, I at least try to have some kind of story to spur the conversation, which it does seem to, work well.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the uniqueness of the show. But I was thinking too is that trying to get other people to host it, to host the Night Owl, because there's not only one Night Owl, right? There's many Night Owls.
We have like 83 members in there right now, but would like to see more participation, more.
Well, not even participation, but hosting it and starting it up. I think that would be great. I'll do one. I'll do a Night Owl. Mm-hmm. I hadn't had the opportunity because I've been sleeping at night. So. But. Yeah. Maybe when I was like, I'll do a Night Owl. Do a Night Owl community. So I think, and then hopefully it could catch on to other people doing it.
Yeah. And for our members out there, I like to see more involvement and maybe even do some hangouts where the people who are already in the community, we get more of the people that we really don't see. A lot of people, there's people who join, but I never see them in the hangout. They're, usually they want to just listen or whatever, or they just fit that category. They just want to be in there name only. I don't know.
Well, there's a time zone. There's a time zone problem.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it would be cool to have a hangout where we get to know some of these people that we don't know.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great with the time zone difference that we'll have a Night Owl in the morning?
We could do that. Yeah, that's why I was like kind of having like a morning crow. But yeah, we could do that. Night Owl.
Yeah, definitely. And any one of our members, decide to do like a hangout, but yet a little bit too shy or nervous, give us a buzz and we'll help you.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll definitely help you. And if you have a topic, I guess we'll pick a topic for you. Boners in space, for example.
I'm still going to look that up. I'm going to find out.
I'll keep looking.
I'm seriously going to look that up. I actually am curious as to whether or not that is actually true.
Do you have some kind of article, Frank? You could screen share? Anything?
An article? No,
yeah, something you were just reading about.
All you have to do is Google.
Oh, you're breaking up, bro.
Sex and space. Just Google sex and space in Google, and they'll give you a whole bunch of articles. There's even a Wikipedia page on it.
Well, I actually got that last image from Googling boners in space. And there were some articles there too. I'm gonna go back to that. See if
don't look at boners in space.
No,
sex and space.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Porn site.
I don't mean to interrupt your conversation here, but you may actually get better results if you ask more serious questions like, for example, instead of saying boners in space, Google. You know,
No,
you're gonna get
yeah.
like some really
Yeah,
crazy.
well, you're gonna get
Let me finish. Let me finish. What I'm trying to say is that if you Google instead a serious question like is there a correlation, you know, like with
No,
being able to
just-
get excited in space? Or,
Can you
something,
have sex
you know,
in
boners in
space?
space might give you
that's
give you
all-
some erratic, you know,
it's
results.
actually-
Whereas if you ask a serious question, you might actually get
that's
some
for
serious
your own
results.
personal enjoyment.
See the fact that you won't even let me finish my statement shows that what I'm saying is true.
Of course. Yeah, so what I did was just put up Sex in Space, and they even have a Wikipedia article on it.
Here it is. I got it right here.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. The idea of human sexual activity in the weightlessness or extreme environments of outer space or sex in space presents difficulties for the performance of most sexual activities due to Newton's third law. According to the law, if the couple remain attached, their movements will counter each other. Consequently, their actions will not change their velocity unless they are affected by another unattached object. Some difficulty could occur
See,
due
this
to
is
drifting
just
into
bullshit.
other objects.
Newton's law has nothing to do with the human experience.
Let's see what their references are.
This is what,
Look at this guy. What, I don't know which.
this is what I'm trying to say. In other words,
This first one here is
get
funny.
away from
Look
the
at this.
conspiracy bullshit and ask the actual people who actually go out to space and ask them
Yeah.
what is your arousal, you know, experiences, you know, and be serious about asking these questions.
But it is funny. The first reference here is there's a book by Kieran Monks, and it's called "Thrusters on Full Sex in Space." Funny title.
You see, the thing is, I'm seriously thinking about asking actual astronauts about this question, and be serious about it, you know, instead of this
Huh?
fucking Wikipedia bullshit.
I hear you. That's why I want to try to get some references here. There we go.
Yeah, there's also a couple articles there that was saying the physiological problems that will happen. And some of them, a lot of the three articles that I read were kind of consistent, you know, with the physiological aspects of, you know, the act of having sexual intercourse.
Well, you know, even you don't even have to go that far. In other words, even the idea of being able to, you know, as the joke was originally proposed in this hangout, the boners in space, the idea of being able to be aroused, you know, like does the lack of gravity have a lot to do with that? This you know, all joking aside, I'm not there. I never experienced zero gravity except for a roller coaster here and there when I was a kid. I don't know, you know, what those effects are. We need to ask these serious questions, and we can joke about it all night long and talk about Newton and all this bullshit. But Newton was never in space either, you know, so he doesn't know either. We need to ask actual astronauts about this.
Some of the articles
Oh.
actually stated the fact that some of the astronauts that went in space had the difficulty from their accounts.
Well, here's one article from it's about education, from about.com. There's his John P. Mills, PhD, space astronomy expert, and yeah, just some of the problems that you were mentioning, Frank, is that what he says here. Besides the low gravity, you know, doesn't flow throughout the body. He says second problem is sweat. When astronauts exercise in space, their sweat tends to build up in layers around their entire body, making them sticky and wet all over. This may make intimate moments more uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
I've read that
All
one.
right,
yeah,
well
yeah.
that settles it. I'm
Okay.
going out to space, and I'm gonna go fuck the shit out of some pretty little girl.
Good luck.
Out in space, and I'm gonna give you my full report.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from though? It's like how the fuck do we know? We need to ask these actual people.
You mean face to face? What? Have a
Yeah,
conversation with them?
we need to ask these people who went out to space, these astronauts and women and men both. We need to ask them what was it.
He wants.
Did
So
your
this guy's
arousal
credentials is not
change?
good enough for you? This guy's credentials not good enough? PhD,
Credentials to credentials to credentials.
All right, let's
We
check out.
need to
John
ask them the
Millis'
specific
Credentials,
questions.
credentials.
Yeah, let's check out what's John Millis's credentials. Here he is. Okay, let's see. Assistant professor of physics and astronomy at Anderson University in Anderson, Indiana. Teaches a wide variety of courses while maintaining an active research program into high energy astrophysics. He taught physics and astronomy. Bachelor of Science in Physics with a mathematics minor. Of course. Now, my understanding
Did he ever
did he ever
go out into space? Did he ever experience zero gravity?
Well, the previous article says that
There's a
NASA is
couple
silent
articles
on the
where
subject.
astronauts did go on space.
You have an article on that, Frank? Hello? Can you hear
Look
me?
for it again. No,
Okay.
but if you go to the Wikipedia article, because I checked some of the references, if you scroll down and there's actual like attempts. There's attempts and there's a couple studies, but even if you just Google sex and space, there's a couple articles there that'll kind of talk about the experience.
Spokesman, apparently, I'm just glancing over these things, right? But apparently, a spokesman from NASA says they never conducted any official experiments on animal reproduction in space. So, of course, yeah, that's where they're going to have to experiment first.
You know that the Mars One people, the ones that want to send a one-way trip people to Mars, these people are specifically exploring that idea. In other words, the psychological ramifications of men and women living in space for long periods of time and the tensions that occur. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking. I'm a realist. I'm an atheist. I'm a realist. I'm a science enthusiast, and we can joke all night long, but the fact is that there are these things that do occur. There are these ideas that we need to think about. Okay, so since there's a dead air, I'm going to continue. In other words, for the first people that go to Mars, for example, it's going to be a long trip. And
I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
And the idea of sending people to Mars is going to be a long trip, so they actually have to think about these things. They actually have to think about the ramifications of sending men and women up in space, the long trip, and they have to, not just sexual things, but it's about getting along with other humans. Even if they're all men.
You like the website space.com? Space.com? Patrick?
I'm sorry.
Are you familiar with the website space.com?
Vaguely, but I've also had hangouts with the Unseen Podcast that we talked about this, and actually we had the people that were actually candidates for the for the first, the people that were actually talking about going to Mars. We actually had conversations with them, and these are the things that they are thinking about. In other words, Brother John, we can joke about it all night long, but when you're seriously thinking about sending people on long distance trips to, whatever place in outer space for long periods of time, you seriously have to think about the psychological ramifications. It doesn't even matter. Even if you talk about sending all of one sex out to space, you still have to think about the ramifications of people getting along with each other. People, having psychological, the ability to get along.
Well, here you go. According to this article,
when you're sending both sexes out there, you also definitely have to think about the sexual tensions.
well, you were talking about we got to talk to these people directly. Well, interesting. In this article, and this might be something to go look into. Quote, I'm not aware of an official NASA policy on this, said former astronaut Leroy Chiao, a veteran of 4 space missions between 94 and 2005. It was not discussed when I was there. It was simply understood. Nobody brought it up. It simply wasn't a consideration. And then it goes down here. It says he spent 229 days in space, and he explained some of his reasoning in a blog post for the tech website Gizmodo back in 2009. So that might be something, look at his blog post about, I'm sure, to touch upon this subject.
Yeah, this is. I'm reading it. I'm not aware of the official NASA. Blah blah blah. The point is that they're not officially talking about this. That's what I'm trying to point out here. I'm trying to point out that forget about the official stuff. I'm talking about actually thinking about in the future, because we never actually did this. I'm talking about in the future when we are actually thinking about sending people to Mars, which is going to be several months worth of trip, and further into the future when me and you are both probably going to be, dead or at least old men by then, about long-term living conditions on a spacecraft in close quarters, these tensions that do exist between humans. I'm seriously thinking, we could joke all night about sex, but I'm seriously thinking about this. In other words, there are ramifications to think about. And this hasn't, and yeah, the joke started about anti-gravity and stuff, or non-gravity. I'm gonna look that up, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Long-term space trips. But there
This is
are
pretty interesting here. Towards the end of this, it says sex in space will happen eventually if it hasn't already. It's one thing for a space shuttle crew to contain themselves for a few weeks, or astronauts aboard the station to remain chaste for 5 or 6 months. But manned missions, like you were talking about, to Mars would last years, so abstinence for that long would be a tall order for most people.
That's right.
Sex would likely be a natural part of life at a lunar or Mars base. Goes on to say the rise of, think about Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. That's now we're talking about reality. We were joking before, but now we're talking about reality. This article that you showed me now is more about reality. In other words, there are those things you have to think about.
But here, Virgin Atlantic, when we were talking about going to space, if we would do it, they're starting early next year. Oh, wait a minute, early is next year. This article is way before.
Let's put it this way. Let's put this article aside for a second. Let's put this article aside for a second, John.
He's behind.
Let's put this article aside for a second, John. let's be totally frivolous for a minute and pretend and go into fantasy. There's a space flight happening, and I and you are on the list of going into space. All right? It's two guys, me and you, totally straight guys. Are we going to be able to live, on a tiny little fucking space, no bigger than a fucking small house, a spacecraft that is an apartment size? Are we going to be able to live together? There are psychological things that you have to think about. Now add that to that psychological thing. Add the women. Add the sex. Are we going to be able to live together with some women aboard? Months in advance. You understand? There are
and
there
the
are
rivalry among men sometimes to fight for the affection.
Exactly. In other words, me and you are friends here on Google.
You get emotions going. Yeah.
Right. Me and you here are friends on Google, but did I invite you into, like, are you going to ring my doorbell right now and invite you into my house? Are we going to be able to live together? Stupid shit like this. It seems silly to talk about it, but actually that's what it's about. It's about the fact that this is a small spacecraft, the size of a tiny apartment. We have to be able to learn how to live together, and then add that to women being aboard. There's sexual tension. This is reality.
It would probably take some kind of prepping for that. If you're going to go on a space voyage to Mars, you have to first live with, put these two people, whoever, how many are going, put them in close quarters and let them live together for a year. Like a reality show.
That's the point. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to point out here. They are actually thinking about these things.
Yeah.
In other words, there is a precedence for this sort of thinking. And they are thinking about these things.
Hey Frank, wouldn't that be a kind of interesting study there, right? Study the behavior.
And you know what? The Mars One project that
people
they're
in space.
they actually are thinking about these things, and they are actually creating groups and experimenting with these groups and creating these people that groups of people that they're trying to figure out who's the best candidates, and that's how these candidates came about.
There have been studies on groups in isolation many times.
Yeah. But I just want you to realize that I know about these things, and I'm certainly not a candidate for, because I'm probably not somebody that get along with a lot of people. We get along here on Google, but honestly, seriously, Green Soul, think about it. Me, you, and Brother John. If we were to be put on a spacecraft that was no bigger than a tiny apartment, can we actually fucking live together? And then add that to a couple of women. Is it possible? Can we actually, psychologically speaking, Green Soul, you're the psychologist of the group here. Do you understand the ramifications of this idea?
A lot of things could happen, of course.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to. I would love to make it work out, and we do appreciate each other here on Google Hangouts. But can we actually live together on a small spacecraft? I'm not sure.
Well, it's really contingent upon the training and the the weeding out process of candidates.
Yeah.
So definitely those factors are going in when they're about to do a mission like that.
Well, yeah, that's the point. The point is that there are things that you have to think about. And I'm certainly, I totally admit that I'm certainly not one of those candidates, because I need all the comforts at home. I need to take a shit in my private, in my bathroom, and need to flush the toilet. I can't handle the non-privacy of a spacecraft. I'm that kind of person. So I'm not a candidate to be going out with you guys to outer space. I would love to visit another planet and all that stuff, but I understand. I'm smart enough to understand that I don't have the right stuff.
They did an interesting study on isolation too. They found that the people who actually, and this is just a study, that the people who would actually who are meditators actually were able to stay in isolation for longer periods of time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, certainly. I mean, there are a lot of avenues to explore, meditation and introspect and things like that, in order to prepare. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I can't elaborate on that. I mean, because I'm not the expert and that sort of thing. But I'm trying to point out to Brother John. I'm trying to point out to him that, all joking aside about the women and all that, I'm trying to point out that there are these psychological things that we need to think about when it comes to long-term space travel.
Yeah. There's the movie Interstellar. Kind of touches upon that subject too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love movies too, but
Yeah.
I have problems with that movie. But the point is that these artists who create these movies also ask those questions. I mean, they're humans too, and they ask the same questions.
Well, yeah, so of course, and some of these movies actually touches upon the psychological effects of staying, in isolation, especially, in space or anywhere else for long periods of time, and what it does.
But yeah, that's exactly the questions. I mean,
Because there's people who actually start, hallucinating.
Sure, absolutely.
without-
I mean, these are the questions that we need to ask when we're actually considering long-term travel. When we're actually considering the idea of space travel and we know that it's going to take a long time to get to some destination, we do actually have to think about these things. We have to think about the long-term ramifications of living together in close quarters with some other people.
These are the things that they also talk about, and you see these in movies. I think hibernation. Being able to sleep
Yeah.
for long periods of
Yeah.
time.
These
And
are the
that
things.
does,
Yeah, these are the
actually
things
will
that we
help.
are considering. Do we consider hibernation? Do we consider, is hibernation possible? If not, are we able to live together with some other people that are strangers and there's a sexual tension, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, there are those things. We definitely have to think about these things. And we can make jokes about it all night long, but these are the things we actually have to think about.
Of course. And I know they're working on things like virtual reality. I think those things have actually helped tremendously. Because, like you said, like if you're like stuck in a room, with these four walls, the mind has to be occupied in some virtual reality in a sense.
Yeah, I was thinking about like
Yeah.
a suspended animation or put into a long sleep, say.
Yeah,
So
we were
that-
talking about that with the hibernation thing, but not only hibernation, but in the sense that there's a virtual reality component during hibernation.
It's one of those
Keep the
things where
mind
it's all of the above. In other words, some people think that there's this like, is it this or that? Is a dichotomy? No, it's not a dichotomy. It's everything. It's all of the above. In
Well,
other
right
words,
now,
we have to think
exploring
about all of these things.
the
So-
psychological factors, not
Right,
just the
right. We have to
physiological.
think about all of these things. We have to think about the ideas of entertainment during the trip. We have to think about if it's not, during the hibernation and during the time that we are awake, How do we entertain ourselves? We have to think about all of the above. Sexual tension, we have to think about all of these things. It's not just
People
one or
leaving,
the other.
people leaving their family members and loved ones behind for a
Yes,
long period of time.
absolutely, absolutely. It's all of the above. In other words, we have to think about all of these things, and we have to think about a way to cushion this idea of being able to travel. There's going to be, obviously, there's going to be things that you can't totally, cushion, but we have to think about all these things. It's not just one or the other. It's not a dichotomy. That's the
I
problem
get you,
with religion.
Pat.
It's always a
I heard you,
dichotomy.
Pat. I hear you.
There's an article here on space.com. This was published August 27th, 2013. Hibernation for Deep Space. And they actually show like a chart of how it's done and what they need to do for these long voyages. I'll just put up a link here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I think it's an interesting thing.
All right.
Voila.
Voila.
Voila, sir.
I think we should, it'd be good if we get all these links and we could just post them in the Night Owl.
Yeah, we could post on, hibernation in space.
Go for
There
it.
you go. Yes, sir.
I mean, it's an interesting.
So if you're in the Night Owl community, check it out. We're gonna have the links that were things we're talking about.
It's an interesting subject. In other words, the
Patrick,
idea of space travel is an interesting subject, and some people have the habit of thinking that it's one or the other. It's never a dichotomy. It's never a one or the other. It's all of the above. It's always thinking about
Pat, I heard. I'm sorry, bro, man, but I heard you like 3-4 times already, man.
Lindsay, how you doing, Lindsay?
You have a habit of repeating yourself.
I do. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna close out the broadcast now anyway, because some people won't come in unless it's off air. So I'm gonna do that. Post. And we're like almost 2 hours anyway.
Hey, hold on for 1 second.
Go ahead. What?
I might be the new host of Interfaith.
Oh, awesome.
Really?
So every Monday nights, I am going to host Interfaith. So
Kevin's doing it? Oh, no. Kevin's not doing it anymore.
No, I'm just taking it over. I don't care. I'm being a Viking right now.
Viking?
Yes.
Interesting that I've been reading about Vikings lately.
I just want to say hello, Lindsay.
Hello, Lindsay. Happy New Year. I'm curious,
Happy
Frank.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Is this your own interfaith or
No, this is the Interfaith.
With Reuven, the one I know with Reuven?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So it's a possibility, and I'm gonna, by the mid-January, I'm gonna open up my Hangouts on psychology. And I am, the other thing is for this new year, and I bought a domain name, and I am going to do the blog on the Green Behaviorist, where we're going to talk about environmental psychology, the ecosystem, behavior, science, faith, and all that, and minimalism. Definitely I'm going to go into things like that. With some pinch of transhumanism. So definitely check that out. I got a lot of things that I'm trying to work on this year in order to expand, my fancy.
It sounds very fancy.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds very fancy. Yeah. All right. So don't forget. Also, post those links also in the community. For your new website. For what's going to go on in Interfaith, definitely post that. Yeah, that sounds good. I'd be interested in that minimalist.
Oh yes, I'm all for it.
That's gonna be cool. That's something I've been really, personally working on. Just trying to get rid of clutter and shit you don't need. And Yeah.
It's what's going to save us, actually.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yes. Less is
Whenever,
more. Less is more.
whenever you're ready, Green Cell, I'd like
Well,
to.
but wait a minute, Patrick. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. So I just wanted to, do those plugs, and I just want to officially close the show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Once again, Happy New Year. If you want to join the Hangout off air, link will be in the event page, and we'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks for guys for coming out.
don't worry, no more space boners, guys.